Hey guys, remember me? It is A Art Adventure, and today I have a whole bunch of goodies to unbox and share with you from things that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. And also I won a giveaway from Aurora's Art World channel on YouTube, and some art stuff to share, and Inktober things to discuss, a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go on an art adventure. Okay, let's kick things off with Aurora's Art World and the giveaway that I won. She actually sent this to me a couple of weeks ago, but I've been feeling kind of down and also just burnt out, I guess, from trying to push through with Inktober and then deciding I didn't want to keep going with it. So this has been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks, sorry Aurora, and I've been really excited to open it, but I really wanted to open it on camera. So I finally have the motivation to do that. I do know what it is, and it's awesome. I'm so excited that I won this. It was a giveaway because she reached a certain number of subscribers, and then since then I think she's done another giveaway from the next set of subscribers that she's received. So I have one. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for this. I never win anything, so I'm just, so happy, and it's such a cool giveaway. It is, look at this. It is a hand-painted sketchbook, and it has glitter paints on it in a galaxy. And I just love this so much. It's so cute. Tissue away. And oh, look at this. I remember her actually doing this drawing in it with the Jazzy's art box. And then here's her contact details. And I'll also put a link to her channel if you haven't ever checked out Aurora's Art World. She's also been doing Inktober with her OC here, which is Floof. She created Floof when she was just a little girl, and it's been an OC of hers ever since then, which I think is just so cool. And Floof has been going on all sorts of cool Inktober adventures for the last couple of weeks during Inktober, because she's stuck with it, unlike me. And this paper is beautiful, thick, kind of cardstock or Bristol board sort of paper, very smooth, great for markers, as you can see here. It's just awesome. Thank you so much. And look at this galaxy cover. Okay, thank you. It was worth the wait. I should have opened it weeks ago, but better late than never. So that's the first thing. And don't forget to check out Aurora's Art World. I'll put a link in the description, and also I've put the card up for you to follow. Next up, a week ago, maybe more, 2 weeks ago, I think now, I went to an Art Snacks Inktober event with my friend and YouTuber, Art by Marsha Furman, and I didn't feel comfortable or in the right mood to film or take photos. I should have at least taken photos. I don't know why I didn't do that, sorry. I think some people took photos, so if I can track some of those down, I'll put them in and insert them. But Art Snacks was so lovely. They provided so many art materials for us to explore, and then the host, in our case it was Michelle Cox, I think is her name. She was such a great ambassador. Art Snacks has ambassadors in different cities around the US, if you don't know that, and they sometimes run workshops or events or things on behalf of Art Snacks. And so she was so lovely and so organized and just such a gracious host for the event. So thank you so much. It really was so much fun. I got to meet some really cool people. Some people actually recognized me, which is so weird. First time it's ever happened. They're just like, "You're A Art Adventure," and I'm like, my mind is exploding. I'm semi-internet famous. I wish. Okay, and then at the end, because I'm babbling too much, we received this Inktober tote bag from Art Snacks with some goodies in it, and they even let us take some extra things away with us as well. So cool. So I think this is one of the extras that I picked up, some Strathmore sample papers to play with. It has a few sheets of sketch paper, drawing paper, mixed media paper, and watercolor paper all combined. So the last one, very thick, which is watercolor paper, and then the first one is very thin, kind of like regular printer paper or copy paper. So that's such a cool way to explore several different papers at once. That's awesome. Also, the art store that we went to was so amazing, and they provided a whole bunch of materials as well. So I'll try to track down the name of them to give a shout out on screen or in the link below as well, in the description below. We received this cool pad of marker paper, and what I love about it is it opens up, and is this on camera? I hope so, yeah. And it tells you what sort of things you can use for it well and all that sort of stuff. But it's like a book, and then this part folds back so that when you're using your alcohol markers, there's not going to be bleed through to the page below, but you still can keep everything in the sketchbook form, or at least while you're working, especially if you're on the go or out somewhere and you're doing outdoor work with markers, although that's a bit tricky, I think, because you probably have to carry so many with you, but whatever. Anyway, I just think it's really cool. I wish more companies thought about that sort of stuff and how to increase the use of the materials for different circumstances. And I'm really excited to try out this paper, but I didn't get a chance to yet, and I'll explain some of that in a second, because there's still more goodies. They also passed along a couple of Tombow markers to us. Tombow markers, I realized, aren't really for me. They're water-based markers, and while I think they're fun enough and they're good enough quality, for me, I find that the way that I want to use them ends up looking a bit streaky, and I always end up wishing I had alcohol markers instead, I think. And also, I find that they dry out really quite rapidly. One time I didn't leave the lid on properly, or I didn't put the lid back on properly, so I get that's my fault, but they just still seem to be dry. I don't know. And other people really love them, so don't take my word as like the be all and end all. They're just something that I don't really gravitate towards and get excited about. What else? That art store had so many cool things. I picked up a couple of quick little things there as well, but nothing exciting, like some Tombow eraser refills, because that can be hard to find, a white fine Posca pen to do some white work, things like that. But they had so much stuff. It was really cool. Oh, and if I flip the tote over, you can see that it is Art Snacks branded. It's for 2019 Inktober. It's so cool. It's already scrunched up and stuff because I've been taking it everywhere with me and going out and about and putting all sorts of different things in it. So thank you so much, Art Snacks. I had such a fun day. My friend Marsha had such a fun day. All the people that were there said it was such a fun event. And I know that there were other ones held all around the country. So I just think it's so cool of Art Snacks to give back to the art community and to create free events like this for people, and to just support creativity and community amongst artists. Really cool stuff. So Inktober swag bag, my swag from winning Aurora's giveaway, which is so cool. Oh my god, I love this. I love this so much. Thank you so much, Aurora. And then here's some of the art that I made at the Art Snacks event. This was on a craft paper, but it's a thick one, and I forget the name of it. Was it Stillman & Byrne brown craft paper or something like that? And I tried chalk markers with it. Oops, upside down. Tried chalk markers with it, and I followed the prompt overgrown because it was the day before that prompt in Inktober. I didn't really want to do the prompt that was that day. I can't remember what it was. Ash, yeah. The day that we went was the prompt Ash, and I just felt like moving a day ahead and doing overgrown, partly because I had seen just before this Bun's Art Snacks unboxing for October, and she did a similar concept. So I've taken her idea of having wild overgrown flowers with eyeballs in them. And so I've done a couple of kind of rose-like or chrysanthemum-like flowers with eyeballs, and then just kind of like little vine plants with eyeballs over them. This is done in chalk markers, which I'd never used before, and I realized they aren't really for me, but it was really fun to experiment with. And I also got to try that cool Krink chrome marker. I think it was Krink. And it's so shiny metallic when you place it down, but it fades to a silvery whitish sort of effect. And then there's a green chalk marker as well as the purple one, and then a black acrylic paint marker, I think, for a lot of the black work. Something like that. Anyway, this is the main thing that I did while chatting to everyone. But I also, at the end, grabbed a piece of transparent Yupo. I've been playing with Yupo a lot lately. I'll talk about that in a second. I've got some here to talk about. But I've never tried transparent Yupo. So this is transparent Yupo. I found that the first marker that I used on it didn't really work the way that I'd hoped it would. And then I switched to another marker that worked better. And I just did a really quick Spider-Man sketch in like 15 minutes or something because I didn't have much time left. And I've never drawn Spider-Man before, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I've realized I don't think the legs are, they're not in proportion at all. But Spider-Man has so many weird contorted poses and shapes and stuff. It was just fun to do a really weird contorted pose and to draw his webbing and stuff in that really cool way that developed in the 1990s. And I also want to play around and color that today, or try some experiments where I'm coloring on the back of it today and seeing what happens. I do also, and so that was the transparent Yupo, really fun to play with. I also want to talk about my normal, medium, and heavyweight. This is medium Yupo, but it works the same as heavyweight. I wanted to talk about this Yupo. I got a lot of questions on it because I've been playing around with it during Inktober. And first of all, the alcohol inks dried really well. I was worried to touch it straight away, but I found really by the next day it was quite dry, maybe slightly tacky, but now it is so perfectly dry like a photograph and has a bit of a feel of the glitter from the rainbow and the gold that I put on there. Then this one is alcohol inks plus the Pentel pocket brush pen. Let me grab it. So I have two of them. This is the classic one that many people have in black, but I also picked up this purple one when I lived in Japan. And they're the same. And I think they have India ink in it. And so it's fortunately dried fully as well. So that's a pen that can work really well on it. I think my other pen finally did dry that I used, which was a Kuretake ink black pen, but at first it was really messy and easily smudged. So go with this guy if you're going to use a pen on Yupo. It dried fairly quickly. And then here I did Copic markers, which have dried completely. Really happy with how well they've dried. And also acrylic ink, black acrylic ink that I received in the Art Snacks for October. And it's fully dried as well. And also I think I used the Pentel Pocket Brush pen as well. So although I struggled or have struggled or found it a bit frustrating to work with watercolors on Yupo because it never seems to really dry properly and can smudge days, weeks, months later, alcohol stuff will, and India inks and acrylic paints and stuff will actually set onto Yupo and stay put and hold in place. So I'm so excited by that because you can get such vibrant colors with inks on Yupo. The Copics, at first I wasn't so excited by it and found it a bit frustrating because it wouldn't, I don't know, blend in the way that I'm used to for Copics and alcohol markers. But what I think I would do from now on is just use cheap alcohol markers on Yupo and save my Copics for other stuff. And any alcohol marker I'm sure is going to work the same and dry fully. And here I've learned, like I said, that the India ink or Pentel pocket brush dries fully. So that's really cool. Okay, so I think that's the main stuff that I wanted to talk about, apart from to say that for Inktober, I kept on going a little bit with it myself. So this was for the prompt swing. This was for the prompt overgrown. I did a couple of others as well, but then I just decided I felt kind of burnt out or overwhelmed or just not excited or having fun and feeling sleep deprived and feeling down and stuff. I don't know. I think I also just felt down because I wasn't making the videos every day as well. So I was disappointed in myself at first. But whatever, I decided to basically quit Inktober. For those that are still going with it and for those that have been doing it and made it all through, huge props to you though. I've been watching some people, kind of just took a whole break from the internet in general though, so I haven't really even been watching too many of the art videos at all, and so I have a whole bunch of catch up to do as well. But yeah, anyway, that's a lot of rambling. What I want to do now is try some different stuff on this Yupo. Hi guys, Future Editing Chris here. I've decided to cut this video short because it's gone on far longer than I realized when I was editing. I realized I've talked forever. So if you want to see me using a whole bunch of different stuff like alcohol, inks and acrylic paint markers and alcohol markers on this little Spider-Man piece, stay tuned for an upcoming video. I hope everyone's really well and that you're all doing good, and yeah, don't forget, create a little more, consume a little less, and I'll see you guys soon for another art adventure. Take care everyone. Bye.